Ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, comrades of all kinds, thank you for joining me no matter where you're at across country around this big, beautiful globe, and I have returned. I haven't been doing any videos or anything like that. I told you guys I'm dealing with some trials and tribulations, so I'm kind of focused on just a few different things, right? Trying to prioritize some stuff. But I see this news, and of course, the response to it is exactly what I expected. Cannot take yes for a motherfucking answer. That's the problem with the American left. Not the international left, not international socialists, okay? Not Canadian progressives, okay? Or the Mexican left. This is the problem with the American left. They are incapable of taking yes for an answer. You wanted AOC to come out and endorse the guy. That's what she did. She came out. Matter of fact, I'll actually read you the rankings. Right? Okay, so she has Mamdani first. She has Adams second. Adrian Adams, not Eric Adams, of course. Bradlander third. Scott Stringer fourth. And Zellner for NY fifth. And of course, we would all appreciate it if you didn't even rank Andrew Cuomo. Right? The likelihood is you're going to have to beat him twice. You're going to have to beat him in the primary, which is looking more likely. And then you're going to have to beat him in the general election with the help of certain independents and Republicans who just like to trigger the left, right? So, of course, you'll have to deal with some Democrats who want to do that. Nevertheless, the responses to this are exactly what I would expect from a listless left-wing movement. A left-wing movement that is out of alignment with the process. They are not in alignment with the process to gain power. They are not in alignment with the process that is going to get us the program that will restore all of these great truths that I talk about. Okay, and what's the process? The process is pretty easy. This isn't the process. Electoralism is not what we talk about when we talk about the process, right? You should have automatic voter registration. You should vote in every election, special election, primary election, general election, every year. Okay, in every country. We should always try to defeat the far right. Sure, that's an addendum, okay, to the process, if you will. Okay, that's what would you say, an annex to the process. The process itself, ladies and gentlemen, is to arm, train, yes, that sort of arm, yes, that sort of train, educate and organize and unionize workers, tenants, and students into labor, tenant, and student unions internationally. Why do we say international? Okay, because if you just try to do it on a national basis, their capitalists are going to help our capitalists squash us. That's how it's always been. Socialism has always been international. That is the only way we win. You have to work across borders the same way billionaires and mega millionaires and far right wingers work across borders. The global right, far right is an international movement. It's a global movement. Okay? They handle so much on a national basis, but make no doubt about it, they want to crush leftists everywhere. Okay? There's no doubt about it. Now, there's a difference between being a globalist, so to speak, and an internationalist. Obviously, a globalist wants one world government or some sort of one world hegemon. And by the way, that's not a code word for Jews or some shit. It's code for far right capitalists and their little attempt to make a freaking Fourth Reich. So that's what they want. Internationalists want every country, okay, to be democratized, right? To be socialist. To have those labor, tenant, and student unions united. And why do we always say those three groups? Why don't we say inmates, trans folks, and, I don't know, black people? Because they're not the broadest sections and deepest layers of humanity. Workers, tenants, and students are. You don't say men and women because many men and women are bosses, landlords, and bureaucrats for capitalists. So you specifically focus on the broadest sections and deepest layers of the international working class. That is how we win. Not trying to own AOC on Twitter, Professor Dinkus. Not trying to own Bernie Sanders on Twitter, Lil Mikey from PA. Like, that is not how you're going to game it. Now, if that's just what you want to do, I don't really give a shit. In fact, that is one of the main reasons why I am always telling you guys time and time and time again, stop focusing on podcasters, shit posters, and politicians. I'm going to repeat that. Stop focusing on podcasters, shit posters, and politicians. They're not winning it for us. International labor unions, tenant unions, and student unions who are militant are going to win it for us, and it's on you to get people there. It's not on me. And by you, I mean the masses. It's not on you as an individual. You just got to try a little here, a little there. Okay? There's a lot you can do. And if you're focusing on sniping at AOC, who's an underwhelming politician in my opinion, but she's done far more than any of us, I'm sure, right? But if you're, think about it this way. If you're running as anything on the left in the Democratic Party, you are sucking up a lot of resources from neoliberals who are trying to stop you. And then when you're in the general election, you're sucking up a lot of time, energy, and money from right-wingers who are trying to stop you. It's actually very important that we just kick their fucking asses all over the place. So electoralism does have its place. Like I said, it's an annex to the process. If you're not in alignment with the process, however, we're going to torch you. We're going to torch you. If this is your hyper-focus, if you cannot let it go, if you cannot stop with the freaking permanent circular firing squad, then you got to get torched. You got to get left behind. You're not in alignment with the process. You do not have an uncommon commitment to a common cause with us, the international working class. What do we want from these labor unions, tenant unions, student unions? Shouldn't it be obvious? Higher wages, lower rent, lower tuition, better worker benefits, student benefits, renter benefits, improved living, learning, and working conditions. And then you go for the program. What's the program? The program is universal basic housing to house the homeless, feed the hungry, clothe the naked, help the needy with universal basic income, employ the unemployed with a universal jobs guarantee, a living wage law. Do you understand? Educate the ignorant and willing with tuition for all, child care in pre-K, paid family leave, all these things to chart the American way, to fulfill the American dream, to make sure no American is left behind. But you do this in every country, so no Canadians left behind, no Frenchmen's left behind, no Russians left behind, no Chinaman, no Chinese citizen is left behind. Do you understand now what I'm getting at, why I'm so serious about this? Why I'm so annoyed at the childishness of the American left? It's been infantilized. It's been infantilized to think that if my shit poster, my podcaster, my politician is most popular, or my critique of them is most popular, or I can play Quien es más izquierda, who's more left, if I can, that's what that means, Quien es más macho, who's more tough, Quien es más izquierda, who's more left. If that's what I'm going to play all day, you're never going to get anything done because you're always going to be out of alignment. Okay? So you're not going to follow the process. The process in and of itself is a win. That's one of the things that's so special about it. Every step of the process is its own win before you even get the program. Get it? And then we can restore the great truths. Guys, I'm going to leave it at that. You know what's up.